And welcome to another Let's Play. Hey, wait a second. Didn't I? I thought I stopped making these. Anyway, welcome back to another Wodball's Let's Plays, courtesy of Raccoonski Cap Productions. We couldn't have done it without you. Wait, I am Raccoonski Cap Productions. What am I saying? Well, despite my best efforts, I thought I'd try to get back into the scene a little bit, since I have a little bit of time during this Christmas vacation. So, here is, without further ado, let's play Jones in the Fast Lane, one of Sierra's more weird efforts here. Now, Sierra has a history of branching out and making different kinds of titles. You have puzzle games like The Incredible Machine, or you have sports games like... Was there a football game made by Sierra? I don't remember. Well, I do know they have You Don't Know Jack, 3D Mini Golf, and Ultra Pinball, amongst other things, and you have action games like Hunter Hunted. Basically anything you can find in Interaction Magazine, which is no longer in production. If you can find a copy, that's awesome. I believe there's an electronic archive of that stuff online as well. In any case, Jones in the Fast Lane is a board game type game where you play the game of life. Basically, you're trying to win against either your friends or Jones, the computer player, and you compete in 4 different categories. Well, let's jump into the game and I'll give you a demo show, and then I'll turn up the heat and see what happens when I get my butt kicked. Let's play the game. So, I'm the only person here, so I'm going to say I only want one player. One player? Player! So, in order to make this game a little bit shorter, I'm going to set my goals a little bit lower. Now, the goals in this game, 4 of them here are money, happiness, education, and career. So, these 4 categories need to be sufficiently advanced in the game in order for you to win. And they all have to be done at the same time. So, let's say I'm really happy, I have lots of education, and I have a great job, but at that point in the game, at some point prior to this, I had lots of money, but I blew it all in making myself happy and educating myself to get a great job. So then my goal eventually is to just work my money up so that I, win the game. Now, some activities are counterproductive, so if you work sometimes, your happiness goes down, because let's face it, who wants to work? So I'm going to set these goals down to a minimal goal, just to make this game go a little bit faster, so you guys get the gist of what's going on here. Okay. There we go. Would I like to challenge Jones? I think so. Jones, take it easy with me. So Jones's goals, because I chose the easy way, is a little bit higher than mine. Also, I made his AI very, very stupid, so he's going to do some really, really crazy crap. Okay, so let's take a look around this board game map screen. It's sort of like Candyland or something. So, this is where I'm living right now, low-cost housing. It's pretty crappy, I don't earn anything yet, I just have a sofa and some other stuff. You've got the rent office, which is where you pay your rent. It's like they didn't realize that you had US mail or something. I know I have fans in other countries, but still, you got mail. Le Sécurité, which is a higher-end apartment complex, which prevents your stuff from being stolen. Now, in this game, there are hazards. You can get mugged in the street, and your apartment can get robbed. So if you have the Le Sécurité, then, you don't get robbed, which is nice. Your stuff doesn't get stolen anyway. Black's Market is sort of your generic supermarket. You can buy a whole ton of food, and you can buy lottery tickets, which you can sometimes win. You can also buy the newspaper, which comes up with some pretty hilarious stuff. But of course, you need a bank. The bank is self-explanatory. Because you can get mugged, it's sometimes useful to put your money in the bank and invest. Unfortunately, the banks sometimes fail, which is pretty ironic considering the time that I'm doing this in. Great Recession. And sometimes the stock market can crash. Wow, that feels like a hit a little bit too close to home. Anyway, the factory is a place where you can work. Yeah, I guess that's it without the factory. It's a computer chip factory, which is kind of nice. It's kind of ironic, too, considering this is Sierra producing this game. The employment office gives you employment. You sign up with them, and you tell them what kind of job that you think you're qualified for, and they try to find it for you. And you can get denied because you have poor work history, no openings, or even just really bad, just no experience or no education. Fair enough. High-Tech U is one way you can remedy that by taking classes and improving your education, sort of like DeVry or University of Phoenix Online or something like that. You can take a few courses, get a few degrees, and come back to the employment office and get better jobs and get a raise or something. Socket City is the appliance store. You can buy refrigerators, microwaves, stereo systems, things that help things around the house. So if you have a refrigerator, for example, you can buy four weeks worth of food. I'm not sure how that makes sense, given that usually food doesn't last more than a week. But anyway, if you have a refrigerator, you can prevent yourself from going back and forth and eating food every week, which at a certain point will take up so much of your time that it's less cost-effective to keep buying food than it is to just buy a refrigerator one shot and then just keep working throughout the entire week. The clothing store. You got casual clothes, dress clothes, and business suits. Basically, you need to look the part of whatever it is that you're trying to work at. So, since I'm wearing casual clothes right now, I can work at casual jobs, but if I'm going to be working as an executive somewhere, I can't wear this stuff. I gotta wear something a little bit better. Monolith Burger. Does it sound familiar, Space Quest fans? Monolith Burger. At Monolith, it's right! Monolith Burgers serve your McDonald's analog. It's basically fast food restaurants, a little bit cheaper in terms of food per week, but you can also have a chance of getting a health bill, which sometimes will happen on the weekends. Z-Mart. Z-Mart's your discount market, sort of like your Krausers or 7-Eleven. Basically, you'll have different kinds of items here that are usually discounted really, really high. So instead of buying it full price, let's say a refrigerator, which sometimes costs $1,000 in Socket City, you can buy it at Z-Mart for like $300. Now, it's a gamble, so sometimes they'll have what you need, sometimes it won't. We'll see what happens. The pawn shop. Now, sometimes you've overbought stuff, and you really need cash now. Instead of sending your stuff to cashforgold.com, go to the pawn shop, just like what normal 1980s, 90s people did before the internet. They'll buy back your stuff at a fraction of what you paid for, but, it's sort of like the game's rules, where often you can only sell stuff less than how you bought it. Makes sense, I suppose. Okay, so this is low-cost housing. As you can see, it's a piece of crap apartment. It's worse than the apartment that I've got right now. Look, I have a beat-up chair. It doesn't even look like a lazy boy, and my table looks like it's falling apart. My blinds are open. It doesn't even look like I got a bed, and there's a mouse hole. Interesting. They must have a draft because that mouse hole is facing right into the wall to the outside. So you have two options here. You can relax or you can just get out. So we're going to get out.